Hello. I'm not quite ready to get going here. A few things I forgot to set up before I got things going, but in just a moment I should be. I'm gonna play some Sunless Skies, which I haven't played for several months now. Hopefully the music is coming through. I just realized the in-game volume is turned down quite loud at the moment. Or turned down quite loud. It's turned down probably a lot farther than I want it to be. Probably because the last time I played it, I was probably playing it while doing other things. Like Sunless Sea, or a bit less so than Sunless Sea, I should say. This game is pretty good for playing while doing other things. At least it was when I was playing it. But it's got more going on at a greater frequency than Sunless Sea did, which probably for most people is a good thing. It's probably even a good thing for me most of the time. But means it's more of an active game than like a background game. And sometimes I like games that you can play in the background, but if they're not great, it's not the kind of game you usually want to stream, probably. So today, Sunless Skies is finally out of early access. I played it a fair amount in early access. Oh, I should be able to turn off the... There we go. Yep. Turn off the standby screen now. I played it a fair amount in early access. And was enjoying it quite a bit. But I haven't played it... you know, there's been several major updates since the last time I played it. And at one point I was like, well, they've set their date to come out of early access to be the end of January. I'm like, that's not that far off for me anymore, given all the other games I want to play. I'm gonna wait until it's out. Or really, I was like, I'm gonna wait until the last region is added to the game. But critically, that was with the launch of the game. So I need to make a few tweaks here. Wait, or do I? What is happening right now? Okay. What? What are you talking about? Some weird stuff is happening with some of my... Oh, very weird. I don't know how that happened. What is hold on a second. I'm just gonna frickin' delete this profile. This profile isn't even really doing anything. Somehow, a profile for a different game on my Logitech software for the game Vampire got set so that it activates when the Logitech software is running. It became associated with the Logitech gaming software program itself. So, like, it was activating. I was just trying to re-associate the game with the thing. Anyway, I don't know what I'm saying anymore. It's fine. Anywho, right now for the first 24 hours that the game is out, they're doing like a charity event where for every no, not every hour, every minute that the game is streamed, they're donating £1 to this charity, which is at the link that I posted in chat. And so I was like, heck, sure, I want to play this game anyway. So, unfortunately, because I'm not in the UK, and the timing of it, I'm only going to be able to do it for a couple hours here. Because it's on a Thursday, and they're starting at, they started at like noon my time when I was at work, and they're going until noon tomorrow. So I've got like a few hours tonight, and that's it. But still, whatever. It should be a fun game, and that's a pretty cool way of getting things going. So I could continue my old game, but there's been enough changes made that I'm guessing the stuff with my old game might be invalid anyway, so I'm just going to start from scratch. I'm going to play in Legacy mode, because, I don't know, that's kind of how I like to play. Oh, this is new. This is new. There wasn't... there were not these difficulty tweaks that could be made. Oh, I like this. Are these things I can change once the game is running? Because I'm inclined to keep everything on standard to begin with. But it appears that the default settings are all like the hardest ones, and I can definitely see, especially the aiming assistance and projectile speed, depending on how I feel about combat, I can see wanting to tweak those a bit. But I think I'll leave them on these to begin with, and hopefully it's possible to change them during the game. It would be nice if it actually just said there. But it's fine. We'll learn as we go. I played a lot of Sunless Skies, incidentally. I loved Sunless Skies. So I backed the Kickstarter for this one. Oh, I'll stop talking for a little bit. Our expedition to the domains of the dead has been eventful. The Orpheon is damaged and in grievous need of repairs and supplies. We are returning in haste to the Reach, where I hope to make port in New Winchester. May God be with us, for 1,000 deaths wait in the sky. Final entry of Captain Amelia Charity Whitlock, DCM, written shortly before her death. Okay. Alright. This is the first time there's been any kind of like an intro to the game. That I've played anyway. I imagine a lot of this was added for the final release. Oh. Okay. Things look quite a bit different. Blue Kingdom Transit Relay. This is the transit relay to and from the Blue Kingdom, a distant region of heaven still ruled by a sun. Few travel there. It is unwelcoming and uncanny. Thanks to the lack of traffic, many London officials consider this a cushy post. Those stationed here are in good favor with the department. Recall your recent arrival through the relay and the frantic flight that preceded it. Okay, what the hell? Hold on just 1 second. For some reason, my Logitech software decided it didn't need to be on the profile for this game anymore, for reasons unknown to me. Yeah, let's do that. A narrow escape. The Orphean recently arrived through the relay in a state of distress, having had to flee the Blue Kingdom. Whatever it was the captain did there, it incensed the local authorities. They pursued you to the relay and tried to close it while you were mid-passage. You barely made it out. What's more, the attempt to close the relay has damaged it. No travel will be possible in either direction until it is repaired. Okay. Interesting. So obviously we have to remain in the Reach. You put the edifice behind you and head back towards the knotted, overgrown tangles of the Reach. Occasionally stars peek through gaps in the celestial undergrowth. Okay, so not much choice about what to do. We've returned to the Reach, an untamed, sunless span of the heavens, London's new frontier, the celestial garden run wild. Okay, so I'm relearning how I set up my macro pad, among other things here. Your journey back from the Blue Kingdom was tumultuous. Your locomotives crippled and Captain Whitlock badly wounded. As first officer, the crew look to you. The nearest station is New Winchester. Can you get the Orphean there safely? I'm sure I can. Some supplies. Much to the relief of your stokers, you find a barrel of fuel among the detritus. Oh gosh, yeah, I have no spare barrels of fuel. Wreck drifts here, less fortunate even than you. We should scavenge her for repairs, a crewman suggests. The wreck of the Ozymandias. The wreck hangs in the sky, pocked with recent gunfire. You and the boarding party don your sky suits, garments of waxed canvas lined with felt to protect against the cold of the sky. Two of the crew are whispering as they dress. What business did Captain Whitlock have in the Blue Kingdom anyway? Why the devil did we trespass in the districts of the dead? You silence him. Now is not the time. Alright, let's leap across to the wreck. The gap between the two engines isn't wide, but the endless fathoms of heaven gape beneath it. You jump. Your stomach lurches with vertigo as the stars blaze above you and below. The air of the heavens is thin and torn by unpredictable winds. Then your boots hit the running board of the Ozymandias, and your leather-gloved hands fumble for a hold. One of your companions throws you a line, and you lash the two engines together. Only then do the rest of the boarding party follow you. One of them forces open an exterior hatch, and you clamber inside. Her interior is cold, unlit, and whistles with wind. Your party's lamps spread buttery light over the narrow paneled passages. You make your way towards the hold, stepping over bodies crumpled in the corridor. Unfortunately, your way is blocked. A bulkhead has been mangled inward by a well-aimed barrage. Okay, so we can clear the obstruction away, which will test iron, and have a 75% chance of success. Or we can take a more precarious path, which will test veils and give us a 75% chance of success. This is, incidentally, this whole introduction is all new to when I've played the game. I mean, they both have the same chance of success, but moving forward, veils will probably be one of the stats that I'm more likely to try to focus on, so I'm going to do that one. Go back out onto the Ozymandias' hull, climb past the blockage, and enter through a window on the far side, and do so carefully. Success. Memory. The rest of the boarding party follow you without enthusiasm. You recall the first time you climbed outside an engine, helping the captain fix a leak in an exterior pipe. The wind had shrieked, buffeting at you. You asked the captain what would happen if you slipped. You fall, she answered tersely. But where to, you asked. She looked down, then up, then back. The sky's depths spiraled all about you. Away, she said, and you heard her fear. Back in the present, you tumble back into the Ozymandias through a shattered window. Your party spill in after you, glad to be back inside. You have reached the Ozymandias' hold, a ruin of smashed cargo and spilled supplies. Hopefully, somewhere amidst the detritus, you can find parts to repair the Orpheon and restock your stores. Conduct a thorough search. Your companions work quickly. The Ozymandias' hull has begun to creak. Your actions on board may have compromised its integrity. I can't help but this is my being a frickin' English major. Sometimes they've just had the apostrophe, and now they've done the apostrophe S. It's like right here. Ozymandias hold. Ozymandias' hull. It should be this, right? Because Ozymandias is singular. Right? It ends with an S, but it's a singular thing. So, anyway, enough of that. Renewed. You find enough food and gear to restock your supplies, and enough spare parts to make necessary repairs to the Orpheon. The food will need to be thoroughly thawed, of course, but you've eaten worse in the skies. "Oh ho!" cries one of your party, prying the lid off a long crate. It holds a cannon still nestled in straw. Another crewman pulls a battered birdcage from a pile of ruined cargo. Within the cage, something winged and furred opens a sullen eye. You examine your finds. 4 supplies and some hull points. Where does it show our hull points? Right here, I suppose? Yeah. So we're back to max hull, which is good. The Ozymandias emits a long, juddering creak. Your boarding party exchange nervous glances. From the chaos of its hold, you have retrieved repairs and supplies and discovered some useful equipment. A gun that could be mounted on your locomotive, and an educated bat. Mount the Jerusalem cannon on the Orpheon. Okay, it says I can claim both the cannon and the bat, so I will. Her own weapons were damaged during your flight from the Blue Kingdom. That leaves you vulnerable. Fire and fury. The Cotteril and Hathersage Jerusalem fires single shells to a good range, more or less accurately. You order 2 of your party to get it back to your vessel and fit it immediately. The Ozymandias groans again. The structure shudders spasmodically. Heavens are wide, so locomotives use scouts, like bats, to locate things of interest. Ports, resources, wrecks like this one to scavenge. The bat treats its rescue as an inconvenience and immediately begins haggling over pay. You offer to put it back in its damn cage and leave it on the Ozymandias, at which point it becomes more polite. You doubt it will last. One diffident bat. Okay, so we could leave now, Or we could press on to the engine room. Well, of course I'm going to press on. The wreck of the Ozymandias screeches as its metal buckles and tears. You press on through the shuddering corridors, searching frantically for the engine room. Let's see. Could lead a smaller party to retrieve fuel. Or I could go myself and conduct a hasty search. Either way, we have just under a 50% chance. I will go myself and lead a hasty search. Failure! Oh no! Flight. The engine room is gray and spilled with ash, littered with corpses. Little has survived the Ozymandias' ruin. You search fruitlessly for coal, but linger too long. As the wreck is racked with final violent tremors, you race back to the Orpheon. With a dying groan, the Ozymandias splits in two, sending shards of splintered plating spinning into the sky. Several of them bite into the Orpheon, mauling its hull. Stoking your engines, you steam away from the collapsing wreck. You are restocked, at least, and rearmed. Okay. Hi, sweetie. What's up?
I have a dumb present for you again.
Oh, yeah?
Uh-huh.
Is it a bat?
No. A bat?
Yeah, I need a bat.
Like, no. Like a baseball bat or like a flappy
No,
bat?
like a flappy bat. I just found one in my game.
I made you our son.
Oh, how cute.
He's not very good.
It's super cute, though. Yeah, there's a little blob right there.
Yeah, I know. I'm aware of my errors.
That's his butthole, I think. It's almost in the right spot.
If I had had a little star, I would have given him a butthole.
Wait, or should his butthole be down here? I can't tell.
I don't know.
His tail up there, but his legs down here.
It's somewhere in the middle.
It's cute. I like it. Thank you.
Hello, I will give you dumb resin things until the day you die.
I know you will.
You've done this to me.
I know I have. Thank you, sweetie.
Thank you for tolerating my dumb resin things.
Give that puppo a smooch before you leave.
Oh, heck yeah, I will. Oh, maybe not. She's licking her junk.
Oh. Well, I mean, you can still smooch her head.
Hey. I gotta smooch you. Your dad's old late. Your dad's gonna have to smooch you.
Okay, so let's see. My scout discovered something. That's good. Summoned by Captain Whitlock. The walls of the captain's cabin are lined with a hodgepodge of curios from across the sky. Captain Whitlock lies in bed. Black marks cover her skin like a monstrous brand. When she coughs, coils of acrid smoke pour from her lungs. Ugh, Jesus. Something unnatural happened to her. Inquire after the captain's injuries. The brand. A word of living fire pursued the Orpheon across the Blue Kingdom. It caught you just before you passed through the transit relay to the Reach and set its brand upon the captain. It's burned itself right through her, the doctor whispers. When I closed the worst of her wounds, I could see the sign is seared into her bones and her organs. Judging from her symptoms, it's on the inside of her lungs, too. The captain leans to one side and vomits a plume of fire into a copper bowl. There is nothing the doctor can do. Her mouth is blistered from the blue fires that dance on her tongue. Her mouth grips your arm. Her skin is hot as a kettle. Made arrangements. The Orpheon will be yours. Her voice is just a rasp of burned meat breath. The promise. She breaks off to scream a word in a language that was not made for human mouths. When she resumes speaking English, she is weaker, her request little more than a gasp. Promise me one last service. Promise. I will promise. She sinks back, relieved. All in my will. Be a better. She breaks off as the sigils burned into her bones flare, glowing cherry red through her flesh and skin. Better, Captain, than I. The effort exhausts her. She sinks back into the scorched pillows in a twisting, frantic fever. All right. You leave the cabin and the scorched stink of its air behind and return to the bridge. New Winchester is further than you'd like, and the captain hasn't long left. Okay. How do I see my map? There we go. Alright, so this is what our scout found. That's probably New Winchester, I bet. Maybe. I don't know. We'll find out. Our scout found something else. Must be that. What is that? A platform. Oh no! We're being attacked! Why are you attacking us? Right outside of a frickin' dock. Well, anyway, we've made it to New Winchester. You coast into the bustle, the din, the soot and the steam of Wolvesey Station. It is clogged with other engines, scrappy mining locomotives from Lustrum Way, weathered explorers gleaming with frost, sleek company vessels with bright brass fittings. No sooner have you pulled into the sidings than a brusque station master bustles over. He requests to come aboard. I must speak with your captain, he insists, brandishing a ledger. The usual formalities. Look to the Orphean's doctor. He has just appeared at your shoulder. His face is solemn. His hat is in his hands. He lowers his eyes. I think I'm the captain now. The crew exchange bleak, wordless looks. The Orphean itself feels suddenly more empty. The station master looks confused. You inform him that, unfortunately, Captain Whitlock has just passed. Ah, he says neutrally. Sorry to hear that. Very sad, very sad. He waits for what he considers an appropriate minute and a half before continuing. Alas, even amidst tragedy, the cogs of bureaucracy must turn. If Captain Whitlock is deceased, the station authority require their answers from the first officer. He dons a set of spectacles and locates his pen. It will be relatively painless. Name, background, purpose of visit, etc. Shall we begin? Oh, are we finally to character creation? Oh, this is awesome. They've made it so much more... They've added so much more just to the interface. I love it. Create your captain. Today London lies between the stars. Her new empire unfolds across the heavens. But 10 years ago, before the northern gate was opened, before the renewed empress led her people into the skies, it lay in a vast cavern far beneath the earth. Deep, dark, marvelous. Who were you then? Street urchin? Sounds good to me off the top of my head. I like veils a lot. In the old game, and I believe in this game, veils helps you not be noticed by enemies, which is always helpful. A soldier, poet, an academic, but there are more. Priest. Interesting, because some of these have like the same. Yeah, there's like one of each. Or I'm sorry, there's like two of each. So I'm assuming the background, it's gonna affect like the background as well as I think I'm going to have been a revolutionary. You were a revolutionary. The law offered you no protection. The engines of the state were set against that which you knew to be just. So, with your feet and your fists, increases my iron and affiliates me with villainy. With your mind, increases your mirrors and affiliates you with academe. Or with your art. Interesting. Okay, so maybe that's... So, like, if I was a street urchin... Okay, no, yeah, I remember doing essentially this when I played before, but it wasn't... It was done in a much more simplistic style. Or minimalistic style at the time, I should say. So like, okay, so if I go street urchin, I'm going to be affiliated with villainy regardless. I like revolutionary. I think I'm going to go revolutionary. With your mind. Lies are the tools of tyrants. You published research to expose those lies and illuminate injustice. What does winning mean to you? So this is a thing that I believe has changed. When I played before, I think only wealth was actually implemented in the game, and I never actually finished a game. I never actually like won the game. It's definitely the simplest objective to the game, but also seems like the most boring. They say this is apparently a pretty complicated one, so I'll go with fame. You'll immortalize your exploits in the song of the sky. For centuries, people have launched themselves into the unknown in the hope of making a name for themselves. You're sure you'll succeed. After all, you never heard of anyone who didn't. That's funny. I like that. And now, how am I going to look? I always like to just hit random. Usually hit random until I see something that looks cool. But I might click through some of the things, especially. Was it not under outfits? Okay, I guess it must not have been under. I thought I recalled there definitely being ones that made you look like distinctly non-human. Maybe they got rid of some of those. Like, I thought there were ones that made it look like you were probably like a rubbery man or a clay man or something. But maybe those aren't. Maybe they either got rid of those or they're not actually in here anymore. I don't know. Because I thought they were like outfit ones. I thought they were outfits that like just covered your whole self. It'd be nice if you could like get a drop-down list for term of address. I think I'll go with citizen. And what should my name be? I kind of like this look. Harris is not a name that is that... Oh, it's going to randomize my term of address if I do this, then. I'm bad with names. How about Forsyth? I'm definitely going citizen. Alright, so we're going to start with 25 veils, 17 mirrors, and 10 each of heart and iron. Sounds good. Okay, the reading of the will. 3 weeks have passed. This morning, Captain Whitlock received a simple memorial service. Her body was consigned to a necropolis train bound for the serene mausoleum. Now you sit with a handful of her relatives in the threadbare offices of her solicitors. A methodical notary is reading the will. The captain was wealthy once, but squandered her capital on mysterious expenses before her expedition to the Blue Kingdom. Listen to the end. The captain's relatives, from whom she was mostly estranged, are clearly wondering why you are here. In a final codicil, the notary announces, Captain Whitlock confirmed that possession of the Orpheon was to pass to its first officer. He peers at you with dry, gray eyes. This includes a certain black box contained in the Orpheon's hold. Captain Whitlock's final request was that, at a time of your choosing, you transport said box to an address in London. He hands you an address card. And deposit it there. You are not to look inside. She gave no explanation. And that's it. You're captain now. The Orpheon is yours. Captain Whitlock's legacy. You can investigate the black box at New Winchester. You could take the box to London, as requested. Or you could sell it and be done. You have been bequeathed a large black box, which once belonged to Captain Whitlock. You now have 100 sovereigns. Okay, and this has given me some tips. Apparently I have an officer or a mascot. And my hull is damaged. I'm aware of that. Thank you. The clamoring central station of New Winchester, a place of steam and smut and thundering iron. Here you can find people willing to pay for a skilled captain's service. Why is this like glowing? Oh, okay. Man, the interface is interesting here. They've tweaked a lot of things. Yeah, that looks like a frickin' coffin. Call me crazy. Yeah, it is a casket of black basalt, longer than you are tall, unadorned with a single small recess that contains a keyhole. Yeah, that's a frickin' coffin. But anyway, let's go through the stuff here. Let's explore the city. The smoggy, clanking, singing, stamping, thronging, frantic heart of the Reach, an ever-expanding port of soot-smudged glass and bright steel, spilling across a drifting, mist-wrapped archipelago. Its factories thunder, its engine sheds ring with hammers and hiss with steam, locomotives chug into sidings for repair, or flare across the sky and away into the high wilderness. Okay, let's learn about trading. I think I know how trading works from when I played before, but I don't know, they might have changed stuff. On the pedal trail, a porter at the station advises you to visit the nearby pub, the Promise of Days, and talk to the seasoned captains there. They keep their ears to the ground. They'll know about an opportunity or two. Okay. I guess let's visit the Promise of Days. Old pistons gleam on the walls. The shelves are crowded with mementos from across the sky. The clientele raise their voices to be heard above the comforting clamor of the adjacent engine yards. Sure, let's introduce myself to the seasoned captains. Four are gathered at their usual table: the masked citizen, a libertine polymath and pioneer of the neo-nocturnal artistic school, the bedeviled diadact, a scholar haunted by his discoveries, the plucky baroness, explorer, collector, philatelist, and spatchcocker Meg, who hunts monsters. Of course, everything out here is jolly dangerous, says the Baroness. Few risk the skies, so news of distant ports is valuable. Collect port reports from the places you visit, and deliver them to Victory Hall or Company House. The more you turn in at once, the more they'll pay. Look for other opportunities on the way, advises the masked citizen. Passengers who want transport, rich men in need of bloody work, etc. Let's ask them how to make our fortune through trade. Ah, the didact says, fiddling with his innumerable talismans. An essential topic. Meg slides you a stool, and the captains shuffle around to make room. The masked citizen buys you a drink of their own invention. It is violet and foggy. The plucky baroness gives you a brisk, encouraging grin. Ask away. Yeah, so I think I know how this all works. You can sell practically anything at a big trade hub like New Winchester, the Baroness answers. If you want to buy, though, you'll need to travel to more distant ports. Each specializes in a particular export. Meg spits chewing tobacco onto the floor. No money in buying at market prices and selling at them, though. You want to look for bargains or prospects of people offering better money. Buy cheap, sell dear. Yeah, so it looks like it's works about the same way, the trading system in this game, which is pretty simple. Um, like, in my previous experience, they've made the game more friendly to the idea of like making money through trade than it was in Sunless Sea, but like that still isn't the main focus of the game. So like each region, I think, has one major port. Um, and you can sell everything there. I think literally everything, or maybe just everything from that region. But you can only buy, but you can't buy stuff generally. You can only buy supplies and fuel. But I believe you can buy supplies and fuel anywhere in this game, or at any of the ports, which is good. And then the other ports sell other things. This says they each sell a single good. And so you can buy them there and then sell them at the major ports. And then there's also at the major ports you can pick up what are essentially trading quests called prospects. Is this what I just asked? Yeah. Called prospects. And yeah, the masked citizen sips their drink. The biggest port in each region has a bazaar where captains do business. There you'll learn of people at other ports prepared to pay over the odds for a commodity. When you accept the commission for a prospect, it's yours. No other captain will pursue it. It's all fantastically civilized. Their smile is droll. You'll have to source the goods yourself, of course, says the bedeviled didact. Find a port that exports them. The client will want a certain amount. You can sell some or all of it, but if you provide all they need, they may furnish you with an additional reward. So they're essentially like a quest or a trading quest. The host at Magdalene's needs an urgent delivery of seeds, paying a pretty penny too. If I were you, I'd go to the bazaar straight away, put my mark against it. Meg grunts. Broker in Port Avon is selling cheap seeds. Chirpy chap, God knows why. His face looks like it's been pushed through a mangle. An opportunity. Port Avon lies to the southwest of New Winchester, and Magdalene's lies to the west of New Winchester. Bargains. Spatchcocker Meg wipes beer foam from her lip. Nowhere this busy. Deals are snapped up too fast here. Visit the bazaars at quieter ports. Can find all sorts. Limited supply, mind. A bargain won't hang about forever, though, the Baroness confides, steadfastly ignoring Meg's manners. So don't hang about. If you've space in your holds, snap them up. You can always sell them at a major port for an adequate return. Yes, that's the other thing they do is they'll have bargains where you can buy a particular thing for like a certain amount anyway for like way cheaper than usual. And then this is something I didn't get too far into, but your affiliations can get you different bargains and prospects. Meg laughs, a noise like a sneeze crossed with a ricochet. It ain't who you is, it's who you know, innit? Nepotism. She taps her broken nose. Quite, the masked citizen remarks. The wider your circles, the more advantageous the markets that will present themselves. A wise captain makes the most of them. So yeah, there's 4 affiliations: Academe, Bohemia, Establishment, and Villainy. And right now I have a bit in Academe. And I think I'm done here, basically. Yeah, I'm done here. So we can recruit somebody. That's very good, especially if we don't have to pay. The incautious driver. I specialize in test driving, but I'm looking for something quieter. The driver indicates a crashed engine still smoking. Like that, without the screaming. Officers require a sign-on fee. So it's going to cost 20. And will get me a chief engineer who will increase my iron by 6, my hearts by 2, my affiliation establishment by 1. That's good, I think. How do I see my officers? Oh, all I have, I think, is a mascot. My obviously delicious rabbit, which I think is a Kickstarter thing. I also have a scratch on my foot. I don't know why. Okay, so yeah, obviously let's hire this driver. The driver boards, eager to get started. I recently parted ways with the Windward Company, they explain. Personally, I think a crash a week isn't so bad. They disagreed. Oh well, live and learn. Let's see. An opportunity, the fastidious inspector. Excuse me, Captain. A woman pushes through the crowds toward you. She is short and square-shouldered, in a neat black suit and polished shoes. She shows you the case of her pocket watch. It is embossed with the crown and hourglass of London's horological office, the body responsible for ensuring time is consistent across the empire. I'm hoping to book a passage to Port Prosper, she says, slipping the watch away. I can, of course, pay. This is a quest I was able to do previously in this game. Thank you. The locomotive I was on broke down following a boiler rupture. The chief engineer's fault, I suspect. A gentleman fonder of brandy than of diligence. Here, an initial sum to seal our bargain. So we need to go to Port Prosper, which is to the northwest. And we have the fastidious inspector on board. We might as well investigate the black box. Captain Whitlock left it to you in the hold of the Orphean. Her will only described it as a black box, a description you consider to be an unhelpful understatement. It is a casket of black basalt, longer than you are tall, unadorned, with a single small recess that contains a keyhole. The thing must weigh most of a ton. It stands upright in the corner of the hold, where the crew have pushed it out of the way. So there's a lot of options here, many of which I do not have access to, because I would need certain things. But that's one thing in this game, is it shows you options you have even if you can't actually do them. So it helps you to figure out what you might have, options you might have into the future. So it looks like there's potentially ways to open it ourselves if we wanted to. We could also just sell it off. I'm going to examine it first. Has the dimensions of a sarcophagus plundered from the tomb of some forgotten prince of Egypt. Closed fast. There are no carvings or inscriptions on it. The join where the lid meets the body is too thin to admit even a knife blade. There are no holes by which light or air might find their way in. It is impossible to see inside without opening it. Even the keyhole has been engineered in such a way as to prevent peeking. The recess with the keyhole, though, as far as you can determine, that is a more recent addition to the box. The stone has been drilled and chiseled away to create space for a modern metal lock. Let's try and remember when Captain Whitlock acquired the box. Captain Whitlock had it brought on board just before your ill-fated expedition to the Blue Kingdom. It was empty then, you know, because you saw the lid and the box carried on board separately and assembled in the hold. It's not empty now. It is sealed and even heavier than before. But you left for the Blue Kingdom shortly after the box was delivered and made no stops on the way. So whatever is inside the box now, Captain Whitlock found in the Blue Kingdom. Decisions, decisions. The last request of Captain Amelia Whitlock was for the box to be transported to a specific address in London. Alternately, you could perhaps find someone willing to purchase it as a curiosity, and if you knew what was inside, you might be able to command a higher price. Okay, so at the moment, I don't see any reason to sell it off. Although, is it taking up space in our hold? I'm curious about that. Okay, it's not. That's nice. Wait, does my bat really take up space in my hold? Oh, it does because I have a Cyclopean Owl. That's another Kickstarter award. I don't know if it functions any differently from the bat. But, you know, I might as well use my Kickstarter award. But yeah, the black box goes in my possessions section. Which means it's not taking up hold space, so that's cool. I need to do something about this bat. I don't want this bat taking up space in my hold if I'm not using it. Anyway, I'm not going to do anything with the box for now. I believe we should have access to a what am I trying to say? To a bank, maybe? Well, anyway, let's see what we can do with the Song of the Sky ambition. Probably not much right now. Just get some hints on how to proceed, I suppose. Yeah. So we need to gather sky stories and tales of terror to begin the Song of the Sky. Okay. Let's get some repairs. How far down am I? Can can you tell me? Oh, we're down by 13 points. So 10 hull for 30 would be 3 each. That's also 3 each. Okay, so I might as well repair all of it. I think. Let me see let me see what my options are for. Let me see if there's anything I need to buy. Okay. So there's some prospects we can get. Somebody, okay, so Magdalene's wants 3 sacks of verdant seeds. Might as well claim that. And let's see. Titania? Yeah, Titania wants 5 panes of stained glass. Might as well claim it. Why not? Oh shoot, I'm not actually done here. What? Hold on. I wasn't intending to be done here anyway. Shops. Bazaar, we've already looked at. Abraham's Engineering. Okay, so we could buy... This is where we can buy stuff for our ship. But obviously I can't afford any of this. Oh, and here's the bank. No. How I access bank? How to bank? How bank work? Also, how do I just pull the frickin' schmickin'? Can I not? If I close that, do I really have to, like, frickin' dock and redock to get it to open back up again? Because that seems silly, but I'm not. Yeah, that seems weird. Is there really no... Okay, anyway. Victoria Market. Okay, so here's our basic stuff we can buy and sell. Fuel is 20, supplies are 40. Wolvesy Engine Yard is where we can buy whole new locomotives. And what are we in, technically? Are we in a Parseval? No, we're in a spatchcock. Spatchcock reclaimed locomotive. So, like, I guess everything here is better than what we have. Um, how do I access the bank? I thought that was a thing you could do anywhere. Oh, I haven't inquired about the war yet. Has anyone been talking about me in the war in the Gazette? No. Okay. Seriously, how does the bank work now? Previously, I thought you could just access the bank just via your hold? Like, but I don't I don't know how now. I mean, it's not terribly important at the moment, but um but I thought there was a way to just move stuff over to a bank when you were in the major ports like I am right now, and I don't see that as an option, and that is annoying me. Um, so I guess whatever. But seriously, is there not a way, if I close this, I can't reopen it somehow? Ooh, hey, we can gamble with the incautious driver. I don't want to do that. Oh, let's consider the rabbit. Rabbit is such a versatile animal. Good in pies and stews. Perfect for casserole. How long has it been since you've had decent pate? Then there's ragu, or even curry, and fried rabbits. Bless you. The rabbit sneezed sharply, disturbing your reverie. Alright, let's get repairs. Um, let's hire on crew. I don't like the idea of hiring on turncoats as replacements, but sure. Initially, the crew members are suspicious. They think you might be a journalist for the Gazette. Still, they're happy to drink on your coin, and as the night progresses, their reserve vanishes. Alright, cool. So we've got a full crew. We could use more fuel, I'd say. Where's the amount of money I have? Oh, I guess I have 91. Um, let's buy two fuel. Let's buy like two fuel. I have four each. Actually, let's also buy another supplies. And now I'm basically broke. So, hopefully it's fine. Alright, let's head out of here. Although, let me check my journal. let's handle the fastidious inspector first. So let's head to the northwest and look for Port Prosper. Um, um, but, oh wait, no, I don't want to abandon anything. Verdant seeds. Magdalene's wants verdant seeds, which we should be able to get, I think, from Port Avon, which I think is usually just to the north. Was that mentioned in the journal? Yeah. No, Port Avon is southwest. Whatever. We'll get there eventually. We'll get where we're going eventually. Let's send out our scout. See if it can find anything. I guess it didn't find anything. Or it found maybe this platform. I'm just gonna keep chunking away to the northwest for now. Marauders prowl these dim groves in defiance of nearby New Winchester. Scout, did you find something? Scout found something to crave. Well, that's not particularly specific, is it? Alright, we found Havenwood. Whatever that is. Oh, shit. I'm firing my gun without intending to. A wonder. This is just frickin' dead ahead. Apparently. Let's check it out. The inscription on the memorial to the unknown rat is dedicated to those brave Ratus Faber who gave their lives in the early exodus to heaven. Alright, I'm gonna pause to read this. You found and benefited from a wonder, one of the most pleasant and least menacing landmarks of the high wilderness. Wonders immediately lower terror when you draw near them, so long as you haven't visited too recently. Sometimes it's worth taking a detour to include them in your routes. Okay, cool. Memorial to the unknown rat. Lovely. Ah, shit. I tried to dodge away from that. I ended up smacking right into it. Nothing to report. God damn it. A stopped clock. The fastidious inspector approaches you in the galley. Captain, good day. I noticed your ship's clock had stopped. Perhaps you'd permit me to repair it? She has a little case of tools and a hopeful expression. I mean, sure. Why not? Opportunity for conversation. She gives a grateful flicker of a smile and sets to work. Soon she has the back off the clock and has spread tiny cogs across the galley table. Obscure orological tools gleam brassily among them. Everything has a place. I appreciate the opportunity to keep myself busy. Staring too long at the stars is harmful to the temperament. The fastidious inspector has a round face, brown eyes, and short dark hair. She gives the impression of being perpetually busy. A higher calling. She sniffs. It is of fundamental importance that 10 o'clock on the 2nd of June in one quarter of the Empire occurs at the same time as 10 o'clock on the 2nd of June in the opposite corner. How is an empire to function if it can't agree what day it is? Unfortunately, the process is complicated by the fact that time is less reliable than it was. The hours trade has seen to that. Do you have any news of London? London sits in her coat of smog. Courtiers squabble at the foot of the throne of hours, hoping to receive endowments of years. Meanwhile, hard-working civil servants labor to ensure everything runs as it should. Was there a touch of archness there? All is normal. I miss her, though. There is no city like London in all the skies, and Albion is very different from the Reach, much more civilized. What about the Reach? It has an uncouth splendor, but I miss Albion and the steady light of the clockwork sun. These sunless reaches are so misty and quiet. She pauses, but critical. The territories here are rich with raw hours, and enough vegetation grows on them to feed the whole of London, even if some of it is a dubious shape. Well, let's talk about the hours trade. Oh, hours have more uses than that. We use them to increase the efficiency of work worlds, to speed journeys to distant regions, to resolve overcrowding in prisons. It does make my life more difficult when time knots and stretches like wool on the loom. More difficult, but more vital. Her Majesty saved a great trove of them when she assumed the throne of hours, and now even more have been found in the Reach. Miners dig them from the ground. She looks momentarily wistful. I hope someday to retire with a modest pension of years myself, to prolong the better part of my retirement. So, what do you think about the Winchester War? Kind of jumped a little too far there. There are those who feel that London is a long way away, and that they do a better job of governing themselves. The frontier attracts independent spirits. We call them tacketies for the hobnail boots that are so practical out here. London, unsurprisingly, disagrees. The Windward Company earnestly represents Her Majesty's interest in the region, sometimes very earnestly indeed. The tacketies call London's loyalists stovepipes, for our hats, I suppose. She avoids looking at you. And you, Captain, where do your sympathies lie? Well, I'm a revolutionary, and these are new lands. We are never free of the past, she says, her hand touching her pocket watch. Never. Well, I will compliment her skills. Thank you, she says, a small, embarrassed silence. It's possible the inspector is pleased. It's rather hard to tell. All right, good evening. And to you, Captain. I think I shall make a cup of tea. All right. Can we find another port, please? Your scout has discovered something. My scout appears to have discovered many things, actually. But none are actually what I'm looking for. And I appear to be nearing the edge of this region. Okay, well, we might as well approach. Broken habitation, long abandoned. Oh, I can't investigate. I don't have a saying. Let's see. Oh! That is a station. That might be the station I'm looking for. Let's turn around then. And I'm trying to remember, did I not... Is there not a option to... What is cruise control? C. What did I set up cruise control to be on my macro pad? Oh, there it is. Okay. There we go. Now I don't have to hold forward constantly. Ah, I think we found the place. Now, where's the actual dock here? Port Prosper. Hey, I gained a level. So, I can choose a facet. Well, this just looks interesting. Okay, so the way I believe it works is that each time we level up, we like develop our character as we go, which I think is a really cool thing. And so each one will level primarily one stat, and then you can choose between two others that'll go up less. Interlude in red and gold. You lost your mind once. So that would raise my mirrors somewhat. So the question is, how much do I want to focus? How much do I want to like really dig into one particular thing? And how much do I want to like try to balance some stuff out a bit? I think balancing stuff out a bit might be good. So maybe a scandal. I could put in 5 points of heart, which is currently my lowest thing. Let's do that. You were the gossip of London salons and the target of blistering editorials in the Gazette. Mad, they said. Bad, they said. Dangerous to know. Well, I was a revolutionary, so that would make sense. What was the incident that exposed you to the buffeting winds of public opinion? A torrid affair. Or a parade of debauchery. I think I'm going to go with the parade of debauchery, just stat-wise, for the mirrors. Absinthe, wantonness, more absinthe, brawling, gambling, blasphemy, and slander. Absinthe and prisoner's honey. Prisoner's honey alone, prisoner's honey and company. Is there a vice you haven't explored? It's possible. There are only so many hours in the day. Well, not when you mine them straight out of the ground. Okay. Ah, and there is our port. Queen's Cross Station. Crammed at the feet of a hulking crag, Port Prosper is a little London, divided into an affluent West End and an impecunious East. Queen's Cross is a busy station, crowded with engines that have arrived through the nearby transit relay from Albion. Well, first things first, let's deliver the fastidious inspector. She disembarks with her bag in hand and peers up at a clock tower that is being raised above the station. It is tangled with scaffolding and rings with the sound of hammers and the cries of workmen. Alright, let's take our payment. We'll get fuel and supplies in addition to a sum of money sure you have 6 spaces in your hold before accepting. I currently only have 5, so I guess perhaps not. Although, again, I don't need this guy. So, like, can I do something with... I guess I'm gonna fucking jettison him. I don't need that bat. Sorry, bye. Bye, buddy. Bye, bat. So yeah, let's do that. Thank you, Captain. Here's the balance of our agreement, and, as promised, a requisition order for fuel and supplies. She casts another glance at the incomplete clock tower. Given the apparent state of construction, I'd recommend you visit the work site. There may be an opportunity there. And thank you for the pleasant conversation, Captain. The sky can be a lonely place. You enlivened it. I've included a small additional sum in your remuneration as a token of my gratitude. Cool. Got some money, got some experience. Supplies and fuel. Good deal. They plan to call it the Albert Clock, in memory of the departed prince consort. But there's a way to go yet. The roof isn't finished, and the clock neither ticks nor bongs. You can see the fastidious inspector up among the workings, with a spanner and a can of oil, showing the workmen how it's done. Let's see what they need. Bronzewood, the foreman wheezes bluntly. 1 consignment. They sell it at Trader's Wood and Polmere in plenties, I hear. And a gourd of chorister nectar, too. This bunch of work-shy ingrates need constant shouting at, and my voice has given up the ghost. Some nectar should have me bellowing again like a champion. Carillon's your best bet there, or Titania, the flower town. We'll pay like. Okay, so Trader's Wood and chorister nectar they need here. Let's take our leave. Let's get a port report, obviously. Always got to get those port reports. The factories continue to belch out smoke while over the bridge hopeful crowds gather outside the Admiral Nelson. Lovers can be seen strolling arm in arm along the promenade at a respectable distance from their chaperones. There was a brief protest outside the Windward Company factory, swiftly quelled. The scones at the Nelson were as good as ever, though the piquancy of the jam was less than might be desired. Okay, well, sure, let's attend a parade. It is apparently the Feast of the Red Saint. Gaudy banners fly over the painted rooftops of Port Prosper. The smog of the East End is hidden away by giant posters displaying dragons in varying degrees of vivisection. The cramped streets are clogged with people. Wealthy West Enders promenade about the amusements while impoverished East Enders work the stalls and huddle by the chestnut fires for warmth. A painted dragon pursued by knights is chased through the crowds to a chorus of "Ho, the riding!" Let's mingle with the East Enders. They definitely seem more my level. Oi! A wide-eyed Eastender elbows his comrade somewhere under his jacket. Who's all this, then? A crowd gathers from out of the shadows. You are subjected to a number of looks that, if not quite filthy, are at least grubby. Eventually the huddle disperses. The first Eastender extends a thin hand, lined and worn. It's a good sign you wanted to talk to us. You spend the afternoon watching vaudeville players satirize the Red Saint and his dragon in an out-of-the-way tent, followed by a hearty supper of roast chestnuts and almost palatable ale down by the station. I am now tolerated by the impoverished Eastenders. Okay. Oh, okay, interesting. We can recruit the incognito princess. She doesn't look that incognito. She's wearing a fucking tiara. Perched atop a mountain of luggage is a radiant young woman. She's an officer dressed in what an actor would wear in a fantastical romance. A tiara rests on her brow. A steady stream of commoners come to pay homage, bowing and curtsying enthusiastically. Starlings circle in dense swarms above her, refugees from old London and a common sight, although not in such numbers. She ignores everything and hands you papers so pristine that they can only be forged. Okay, so this would get me a first officer. Dang, she's expensive though. But it's always good to get officers. And she's new to my game playing. She was not in the game when I played before. Welcome aboard, Your Majesty. I am a humble first officer looking for... What's the word? When commoners do things for coins? She, she's so good at being incognito. Work, that's it. She beams at you, delighted, as innocent as a Gatling gun. As she steps aboard, a commoner calmly takes a spoon from his pocket and scoops out his eyes. After such radiance, all else is tawdry, he says between screams. It seems she has already forgotten about her signing on money. You have recruited the incognito princess. Cool. So she's good for hearts, mirrors, and Bohemia affiliation. Let's explore. Oh, I've already. It's nothing new. Offer transport to settlers. I don't know if they take up space or not, so we'll find out, I guess. Would-be pioneers clamor at the station, eager to make their fortunes amongst the stars. Yeah, looks like I can do that. One way to Lustrum, thanking you kindly. By Jove, I think it's finally my time to see the real frontier. You wipe your hand on your trousers after shaking his disquietingly sweaty hand. This is it, isn't it? Leaving the safety of Port Prosper, really going out into the world. Ah, haha. Here we go then, eh? Okay, so we've got somebody who wants to go to Lustrum. Why is that again an option? Oh, okay. I guess it's just always an option. The parsimonious chairman's office. The offices of the Windward Company on Port Prosper are elegantly appointed, if antiquated. Paintings of old London adorn the walls. The parsimonious chairman has work for ruthless captains. He sits behind his imported mahogany desk, a decanter of brandy at his left hand, and a series of neatly stacked reports at his right. A fire has been lit in the cavernous hearth. It is too warm. He pours the brandy into 2 glasses, then produces a ruler to measure the amounts. To business. He smiles, revealing the extensive damage to his teeth. I was a pugilist back in London, a young man's game. He stands at the window, watching the starlight bathe the sloping streets of Prosper. This place exists because of constant work. From the politicians who planned it, to the pioneers who built it, to the soldiers who even today defend it from the Tacketies. We have need of more such work. Bring me nameplates from Tackety engines. We keep lists. You will be rewarded. No, I don't like you. I'm not gonna do that. The parsimonious chairman sighs, as though used to disappointment. He allows you to finish your brandy before ringing a little bell. His secretary escorts you out. My door, the chairman says as you leave, is always open. Okay, so what about the Albion Transit Relay? The Albion Transit Relay lies in a cul-de-sac close to the Port Prosper dock. There, locomotives can secure passage to the far-off territories of Albion, where London lies. A garrulous captain is delighted to have an excuse to talk. I'm happy to help, mate. Happy to help. They point down the docks. There you are. Keep going past the port. You can't miss it. If you've good eyes, you might even be able to see it from here. Passage ain't free, mind. You can travel first class if you have a ministry stamp permit. Or you can bring a couple of barrels of ours to travel second class. Okay. I've already looked into that. Let's see. Let's see. Shops. Okay, so... we can buy stained glass for cheap here. Which is needed for one of my things. I need 5, but I don't currently have any room in the hold. Could I afford 5? No, they're 110 each, and I'm probably gonna buy 1. Dang. Okay, well, I guess I'll buy 1. I'll just have to ditch. I'll have to ditch a fuel. Fuel's what's cheap. Or I guess I'll sell a fuel. I'll sell 1 fuel to make room for that. And I'll have to find my way back to Titania to drop that off. Okay. Let's get out of here. Oh, and there's the transit relay. Okay. Just wanted to make sure that was on my map. And now I do have other places to go. Mostly Lustrum. Lustrum is something I need to find. Fuck on out away from me. Please, Jesus. Oh God, what the fuck is that though? Oh boy. Okay. There's all kinds of shit around here, I just can't pick up any of it. I mean, I'm glad to see they've added more uses for, like, butchery and assaying and stuff. It's just, it also kind of sucks that there's so much stuff that you can't collect, like, normally without extra things. A wreck. The wreck gleams with frost. Its windows are dark, its engine silent. Perhaps something of value lies within. I've got pretty good veils, but obviously not good enough, but I'm gonna give this a shot. Success! Your boarding party follow you gingerly through the rent in the wreck side. The steel bones of the engine groan miserably. You'll need to hurry. Lifting your lamp, you lead your party towards... we don't have a lot of cargo space, so I'm gonna try the captain's quarters. Ooh, an otherworldly artifact. Your party efficiently and thoroughly turns the cabin over, throwing everything of use into a frost-crackling bedsheet to be examined in better circumstances. Then you hurry back to your locomotive in time to watch the wrecks crack, split, and spill its remaining secrets into the sky. So what is that? Otherworldly artifact. Okay, so don't know what it is or what it's for yet, but it's a thing. Oh God, I don't know what those are, but I don't want to fight them. Pretty dang sure I don't want to fight those things. I think I might be near Lustrum though. This looks. This looks. This looks like Lustrum area. Lustrum area was very like cold and icy. Seeming. So I'm gonna venture into this area. And I'm gonna hope that I don't think I actually want to go to where that horror is, and I'm worried this ship is gonna attack me, and I am correct. But maybe these other things will fight it, and I won't have to fuck with it. Oh cool, I found a horror. Ah, I bet that might be Lustrum though. Ah, fuck out of here. Ah. Ah. Leave me alone. Leave me alone, please. I found Magdalene's, actually. Not Lustrum. But anything is helpful. Okay, my nightmares is fine, so I don't need to treat my nightmares. Magdalene's is the closest thing many Skyfarers have to a home. It offers services to alleviate the strain of a life spent too close to the stars. The glass spires of Magdalene's pierce the clouds like swords. Shadowed figures can be seen moving through the gleaming corridors, their identities obscured by the huge glass. Crowds of Skyfarers, ministry officials, and merchants mill about the forecourt in varying degrees of distress. All watch the clock set in the great clock tower, waiting for their appointed hour. Let's speak with an attendant. No, let's get our port report. First things first. Magdalene's is a popular destination. Someone will no doubt be interested to know how things are here and who has been seen here. Magdalene's is abuzz with activity. Barely has the clock chimed than a clamor goes up at the front desk, guests rushing to and from appointments. Lord was seen in conversation with the amenable host. The east wing was closed for general access all day. A certain distinguished admiral was seen with his second-in-command entering one of the chambers of regret. Several guests succumbed to an excess of sentimentality and were forcibly removed. An attendant in the foyer schedules appointments with the aid of a hefty daybook and a very accurate clock. They are eager to explain the procedures and the rules that govern here. This is a hospital for the spirit. Our staff will become the person you need. Here you may say farewell to a doomed comrade, resurrect an old love, spar with a defeated enemy, all for a fair price. But do not overindulge. Our services are to heal, not to become an addiction. So basically, I guess they do like therapeutic role playing. A trio of guests is going in together, all dark-haired and straight-backed. Yes, I know it's not the real thing, but I'd like a sense of closure, the tall woman says. What rot, barks the short woman next to her. You want to argue over the will again? I've told you once I am not giving up the spoons based on a charlatan's say-so. Do be quiet, please, the one man says. I, for one, am more than happy to hear again why I was lumbered with the third best wardrobe. I'm not sure if there's any point in me continuing to just check things out here. Let's seek a meeting with the host. A waiting list. Unfortunately, the host has many calls in their time, and you have yet to become a known face around these parts. Perhaps once you have availed yourself of the services, they will have time to speak. Oh, interesting. Previously in this game, you could get a quest to do for them, like, right away. A harassed captain waits by the steps for his crew to emerge one by one from the chambers below. Each he grabs by the ear and leads to a quiet antechamber. The shouting can be heard from here. If you had complaints about my captaining, you could have just told me directly, not some ruddy actor. Okay. Yeah, it doesn't seem like... Alright, well, let's check out the shops. Oh, this is where I need to bring seeds to. And they sell souls in addition to the usual. So I will just... Wow, do you want to fuck off? You ugly thing? Peacock wind buffets the engine. The incautious driver whispers a jolly tune. I mean, I don't want to fight that thing, but I will. I don't want to get involved with this thing, though. Ah, fuck off! No! Fuck right off! Please. Yeesh. If I'm able to loot this thing, I'm going to have to... Oh, God! There's so many... I am going to attempt to go in there, because if I can, I'm going to try to get... Ah, shit. That's not ideal. Hey, but I got a tail of terror, but I lost a crew. As you clamber through the hole, your lamps reveal uncanny marks around it. Were they caused by ricocheting shrapnel or by vast teeth? Your boarding party's search is unsurprisingly hurried. They retrieve only handfuls of valuables before the hull's groans encourage them to return to your vessel. Not all of them make it. The wreck buckles with a shriek that might have issued from the throat of hell and spins apart. That's not ideal. I was hoping... to find... to be able to make some makeshift repairs. But as it is... now I'm just gonna kind of rush back to New Winchester, I think. Man, there's a lot more... there's a lot more just land around in the game than there used to be. I remember reading about that in an update that they made. That they wanted to make the world feel less empty. But boy, yeah, there's like... previously you could kind of just cruise from one spot to the next. Now there's a lot more like stuff you have to maneuver around. Land masses and whatnot. I gotta... I also need to check... yeah, I need to have my... I need to map my lantern. Because I believe turning your light on and off actually makes a difference now in the game. Oh, interesting. Okay. Now that... okay, Victory Hall is like a separate thing now. Not just a part of New Winchester. You actually have to like sail over to it. Okay. Raised in the wake of the blockade of New Winchester, this magnificence of glass and steel houses the Colonial Assembly. Here, representatives of the independent ports of the Reach gather and quarrel. So we can deliver our port reports here. Or we could deliver them to... I believe there's like a representative of the Windward Company. But obviously, as a revolutionary, I'm going to be siding with the Tackities. Her skin is brown and her hair is beginning to gray. She wears a heavy unbuttoned coat. Metals gleam in the shadows behind its lapels. One half of her face is scarred from frostbite. She is enjoying a quiet cigarillo while her peers argue in the Chamber of Assembly. You talk for a while about life in the skies. When her cigarillo is just a stub, she says, "I'd be grateful to hear reports of your travels, citizen. I suspect all manner of strife and imprudence is going to kick off in the foreseeable. I mean to be ready for it." Okay, so I'm going to deliver my port reports. So we got two, like, favors or whatever from her. 200 sovereigns. And it, like, raised, I guess, like, tweaked by 2 how much they did. Oh, okay. With 2 gratitude, we can get a savage secret or an unworldly artifact. I don't know what either of those are worth. So I think I'll just save my favors or whatever for now. And I guess I'll get out of here. I'm gonna go see what that other platform is. Maybe it's like what's it called, like Windward Hall or something. Yeah, Company House. Yeah, okay. That's interesting how they've tweaked this. I'm not sure I like it, to be honest. Like it seems like it's gonna make going to one or the other a little bit of a pain. Um, Whereas before you only just had to go to the main port, Winchester, or whatever it's called, New Winchester port, and then you could like go to either one of these. Following the uprising, the fortunes of the Windward Company fell in New Winchester. Now their modest offices occupy an ex-tinning factory in the murkier recesses of town. It continues to smell faintly of beans. Yeah, so this is like the opposite side for the Windward Company. And, like, fuck them. Um, Fuck the Windward Company, as far as I'm concerned. Okay, so I wonder if there's also a frickin' like different place I have to go to like go to the like bank or something now too. Well, my owl didn't have anything to report, so probably not. I honestly don't. Yeah. I'm not that low on supplies. I've got a full thing and then two more crates. And I'm like at Port Winchester. It's fine. But I don't know how to use the Ding Dang Bank. What's happening now? Let's see. A scrubbed clerk begs a moment of your time. I represent Halliges, the bank. Okay. Maybe I just hadn't unlocked. I guess I had just hadn't unlocked it. Cool. Um, I represent Halliges, the banking house. I promise this will take only a moment of your unquestionably valuable time. He produces a folded contract with a flourish. We hear promising things about you, citizen. Very promising indeed. We would like to extend our services. We provide a secure solution for the storage of your assets, absolute discretion, and a steadfastness unto death and beyond. We require only a signature. The offer is entirely complimentary, I assure you. At Halliges, we measure ourselves by the quality of our clientele. Okay, so this gives us a bank vault that, like, is connected to all the hubs. I am certain this represents the beginning of a long and warm relationship between ourselves and your lineage. May it endure. I bid you good day, citizen. So let's see. You may access your bank in a central port of any region. You'll find it in the list of areas on the left-hand menu and docked. Click to transfer items between your hold and bank. You'll be... if your captain dies, the contents of your bank will be inherited by your next captain. So this is handy. I don't see it over here. Oh, it's under shops. This is handy because, like, if you end up having, like, more fuel and stuff than you know what to do with, maybe that won't be as much of an issue here as it used to be, but, like, with, in Sunless Sea, at any rate, you could sometimes, like, end up with, like, a real surplus of fuel and supplies, from, like, turning in port reports. Let's see, am I worried about... Only one crew down. And this can recruit up to 3 or 4. I think I'm fine being one crew down, probably. how much do I need to begin writing? 7 sky stories and 7 tales of terror. Okay. So I can't really do any of that. There's no one to recruit. Oh, I do want to do repairs though for sure. I'm gonna get full repairs. There's no prospects available at the moment. But one thing I might want to consider is, can I get... No, I don't have enough money for any of the cool shit I might want yet. Like a pressure canning system. Or a sneeze lurker. The fuck is that? Oh, it's a mine. Interesting, that's new. Cool. Wit and vinegar, winch and pulley. Huh. Yeah, there's definitely some stuff I would like, but I don't really have that much money, so... Yeah, so at the moment, it's probably kind of out of the question. I need some more supplies. Let's see, where was the stained glass wanted? Titania. I think Titania is a good spot for seeds, too. Although I think because of this, you're guaranteed a good deal on seeds at Port Avon. I think they kind of set it up to work that way to kind of like ease you into the trading. So I think we should try to go to Port Avon, which is apparently to the southwest. It used to be to the north in the game previously, I think almost always, but they must have moved some stuff around. To the southwest. Okay, well, for now, because I don't even know where Titania is, I'm going to save that. I'm going to save that, and then we'll buy some more fuel. Or supplies, rather, is what I meant to say. And we'll head on out of here. And we'll head southwest. Oh gosh. Okay, they've changed the system. I do remember reading about this too. They changed the nightmare system. My nightmares did not go down. It used to be that they went down when you checked in at major ports, but that is not the case anymore, I guess. I forget how they go down now. Do they go down when you check in at minor ports? I feel like they were. Come on, Owl. Find me something. Find me something good. Oh, what happened? A change of heart. The settler has emerged from his cabin, his suitcase clutched in his hands. I've had time to think, and I have to admit it. I can't do it. I don't want to go. But it's so warm here, and everyone's been so kind. Might I stay on, or at least take me back to Port Prosper? Um... Sure, I guess. He moves as though to hug you, but then thinks better of it and salutes instead. You won't regret it. Fetch me a mop, a bucket. Point me in the direction of grime. I'll do you proud, and I'll never have to go outside again. You send him to his bunk with a hot cocoa and several thick manuals on locomotive safety procedures. Cool. Hey, I got experience out of the deal. Oh, what? Oh, cool. Okay, maybe that's Port Avon. Fingers crossed. We're pretty close to, we're pretty close to, something. Yeah, Port Avon. We're pretty close to leveling up, is what I was gonna say, and then we just did. Arriving at Port Avon, behold, a ruin of giants, gargantuan blocks jigsaw together, furred with moss and whispering with orchards. A bucolic village nestles amongst them. Smoke coils daintily from the chimneys. A leisurely game of cricket unfolds on the village green. A ramshackle dock juts into the sky beside a farmyard scattered with rusty locomotive parts. Plating, piping, a chugging motor with its innards exposed. An oily-faced, black-haired girl waves your locomotive into position. Welcome to Port Avon, she calls as you disembark. A rich nod of scents greets you, leaves and wood smoke, enriched by an infrequent but pungent intrusion of goat. Port Avon welcomes new visitors, but your novelty will wear off the more time you spend there. When you visit in the future, you may need to bring something to keep them friendly. Oh yeah, I remember this before. So we have 3 points of Port Avon welcome. Exploring Port Avon will wear down your welcome. Here you can restore it, allowing you to stay longer. But I have neither gossip nor tea. So I'll write my port report, which I'm not sure if that wears down my welcome or not. I don't think so. You have to have welcome to get a port report, but were it not for talk of smugglers and sky beasts, you could easily confuse this place for a village on the world you left behind. It's quite peaceful here, apart from some fuss over a newspaper delivery. The villagers frowned and changed the subject when you ask about it. Okay, so first things first. Over here, we can get some seeds. I need 3 sacks of seeds, and that's how many they have. Do they not show? I also note that they show weight of specific things now. And okay, I guess it impacts fuel efficiency. Okay. So I needed 3 of those, and I need to take them to Magdalene's. Okay. And then they normally sell the regular stuff and souls here. Alright, Port Avon Dock. Ooh! A bucolic village nestled within looming pre-human ruins. The dock is little more than a farmyard. Port Avon's inhabitants quickly tire of visitors, but you may be able to find ways to increase your welcome here before you venture into the village proper. So we could recruit a repentant devil. And he's a signaler. We don't have a signaler yet, so I am for it. It will leave me almost broke, however, but I'm still going to do it. Filling all them slots is helpful. He's repentant. There can be no harm. Yeah, sure. He has very little luggage. A single satchel of books and a folded greatcoat appear to be his only personal effects. His manner is calm, almost pedantic, as he negotiates his duties and his pay. But you have a sense that he urgently wants to be out of Port Avon. Excellent. Only missing a quartermaster now. By the way, I should try talking, seeing if any of these want to actually, like, chat. Alright, well, I can't chat. I need a Sky story to chat with her. But then I'll be able to prove myself a fit confidant. The Repentant Devil. He looks younger than most devils, but he is significantly older. His gaze is blank and yellow, a wall against speculation. He grooms his sideburns artfully and knows how to be tactful with less seasoned members of the crew. Oh, I have soul flaws. Oh, I didn't know that. Let's converse with him first. Parrying suspicion and a few hints. He sits with his back to the door and answers your questions with more questions. It's more than ordinary caginess. He does not trust you, which is strange, considering how hard he wrangled to be aboard this engine in the first place. Once he asks, rather abruptly, how long your crew have been with you, and whether you took on anyone new at the last port. You cannot tell whether he likes your answer. Perhaps in time he will come to trust you more. Oh wait, I wasn't done. Let me ask about the state of my soul. He smiles blandly. It is not worth much in its present condition, he says plainly. Too flawed. I could cure you of all that if I had time, and if I cared, and if it were not just as easy to take any of a dozen other innocent souls in a better state of repair. If you wanted improved, you might, I suppose, try your luck at Caroline. Do I need to talk with anyone else? I could try to gamble with the incautious driver. Why not? Hopefully I don't need any money. Caught in the act. You enter the hold and find the game well underway. The driver sits cross-legged in front of a pile of freshly won sovereigns, and three newly impoverished members of the crew. A stoker angrily throws an expensive-looking watch onto the pile of winnings and departs in a fury. The driver looks up. Citizen, care to make a wager? The driver deals the cards between the players, the cook and a crewman whose name you can't place at the moment. There's like 10 people in my crew. I should be able to know everyone's name. Watch each other with barely disguised suspicion. Behind you, a small crowd gathers to see their captain's coin. Place your bet and prepare to play. Okay, so that'll cost me 25 and gives me 26. This is not good odds, but let's try it. Ooh, success. A winning hand. You spread your cards out. The driver plays with instinct rather than strategy, betting everything on what turns out to be a terrible hand. Your luck is stronger. An entire royal succession stares up from the table. The other competitors can only grumble as you claim the pot. I hear you used to be a test driver, says the quartermaster. I don't have a quartermaster. The driver nods. You'd never have thought it. As a child, I loved my trains, very ordered. A safe little space where they could go round and nothing could go wrong. It was only after the crash that I realized I needed more. I suppose surviving that taught me there was more to living than simply being alive. Another round? No. My odds are shitty. I will allow them to continue playing the game, though. The driver nods to you, idly scratching an ear. Just for a moment, you spot something green winding around their finger. Let's converse with the incautious driver. They keep scratching their ears even while driving. A nervous tic, or perhaps a sickness that might spread amongst the crew. What? Oh, yes, yes, yes. The driver scratches again. It's nothing, just a little earache, I'm sure. It comes and goes. Their knee trembles with the frustration of being pulled away from the wheel for even this short conversation. See? All fine now. Um, let's recommend visiting a doctor. Not necessary, the driver protests, scratching at their ear with renewed force. A look of pain flashes over their face for a moment. Perhaps, my family knows of a specialist in New Winchester. I think Father owns the building. I think I can call in a favor. Okay. We'll have to look into that in the future. Let's see. Let's go to the village green. Yeah, why not? Heart of the village, surrounded by orchards of real apple trees that were shipped through the Avon horizon as the Avid horizon as seeds. Could watch a cricket match, or take a relaxing stroll, or we could go to the Nowhere Inn. Botheridge's A Tour of Heaven describes Port Avon's single public house as a welcome respite, justly famed for its authentic old earth cider. The locals can be welcoming for a while. Oh yeah, and my terror did go down. So your terror must go down at like the outer ports now instead of the major ports, which is interesting. So here we could read a book. We could appreciate an amount of cider. We could speak to a short-sighted cryptozoologist. We could intercede in a mushroomy matter. Wow, a lot of options. Also, there's the New Somerset Hunting Club. Well, let's talk to this cryptozoologist first. She perches on a stool in the corner, staring at a map of the Reach. I could have... No, must have taken a wrong connection at New Winchester. A tiny figure weighed down by two backpacks and a heavy duffel coat looks through thick glasses at her map and then up at you. Excuse me, I need passage. I don't suppose you could help me. I'm on the trail of unusual beasts. I can pay you for your time. Lustrum, beams the short-sighted cryptozoologist. She leans in conspiratorially, then realizing that she's whispering to one of the inn's wooden beams, leans over to where you actually are. I hear there's a curator who lives there, with the people. Mr. Penny's. I've always wanted to meet a curator, just safely. Okay. Let's intercede in a mushroomy matter as well. The pub is out of scrumpy. The barman blames a creature, a cross between a mushroom and a jellyfish. It sways in its seat at the bar. Who does this creature belong to? Bellows a man, fuchsia with rage. The Blemmigan he points at is a grizzled member of its species, most of whom were left behind in the Neath. The fuchsia gentleman roars in fury. Between bellows the truth emerges. The Blemmigan is no one's pet, and, far worse, no one will admit responsibility for its tab. The Blemmigan is unconcerned with the tumult. It nods its cap at you with grim respect, then flops a tendril into a mug of stout. It stares bleakly through the window. The thing wearing a monocle? Okay, so we can settle its tab if we want. If I settle its bill, it'll join me, giving me a mascot that raises my iron by 2 and my mirrors by 1. Well, that's better than my current mascot. And I have just enough money to do so. The fuchsia gentleman inflates for a particularly prolonged diatribe about ill-mannered captains and their disorderly pets. The Blemmigan climbs to the bar top to consider your face. It likes what it sees. With a sound like a shoe being pulled from a swamp, the Blemmigan finishes its drink. It clambers up your arm until it reaches your shoulder, from where it directs you to the door. It is experienced in surviving the cold of the heavens and the heat of those too cowardly to traverse them. It respects you. It will serve you well. Alright. We're gonna lose a heart to take on this Blemmigan as our mascot, but should I prod my Blemmigan? Sure. Just as your hand closes on the Blemmigan, it reaches a tendril out and gently bats your arm away. None of that, it conveys. It hasn't even turned to face you. Okay. Let's check out the upstairs. The new Somerset Hunting Club has exclusive rights to the rooms above the pub, as well as its finest brandies. Thick cigar smoke curls through the air, filling this private chamber with premium-grade fog. Bloated gentlemen in well-worn military uniforms sit at mahogany tables sipping port. They chunter of the old days and how much better they were. Chunter. That's an interesting word. Request membership of the club. It was a famous club in old London, home to not just nobles and distinguished soldiers, but ex-ministers, royal courtiers, and other members of high society. Our sort of people. A stout veteran gives you a polite once-over. I suppose we could countenance an application. Of course, membership is not a matter of mere money. No, no. He directs your attention to the trophies. Most are old and musty, neath creatures, deer, foxes, and a bear, all hunted in the members' now long-distant youth. Perhaps if you could help decorate our walls with some impressive local fauna, we can talk matters of first payment, and then membership. Of course, we could hunt the beasties ourselves, and we will, by thunder, we will. But the fire is so warm, and there's port left in the bottle. Okay, so I need to bring back a Cantankerry trophy, a Chorister trophy, and a Scribe Spinster trophy, if I want to join this club. Alrighty, well, obviously I don't have any of that yet, so let's check out the Cyclopean Ruins. What palace was this? What giant king made his home here? And why did he abandon the vast stores of souls that the locals still quarry from beneath the stones? Perhaps you might risk a furtive excavation of your own. Not one of the looming stones is quite square, yet they all slot together immaculately. What were these ruins before their fall? Even their bones are tall and stately as the finest cathedrals of old France. What purpose did they serve in the past plentiful days when their sun still shone? So we can attempt a nocturnal excavation with just over a 50-50 chance. Or we could enjoy the picturesque surroundings. And success will give me a vision of the heavens. I'm not sure I want to do any of that. I think I'll actually just save my remaining welcome and get the heck out of here. We've got other places to be. Oh, interesting. Your newly required repentant devil is standing, most unrepentantly, over a body in the hallway. Cool, buddy. Did you kill somebody already? Okay, can we... Oh, there we go. You haven't seen this person before. One of your crew, but the deceased is no one you know, a stranger on your locomotive. Peculiar luggage you brought on board, says one of the crew when some others have gathered. Wouldn't have thought it would fit in your little bag. First, clean up. It won't do to leave the body in the hall. Then your repentant devil can explain himself. He's still got the blood on his cuffs. He's killed someone on board your locomotive. You need to understand why. Yeah, indeed. Let's ask him about the recently departed. Because again, it isn't one of my crew. Very interesting. He was a stowaway, explains the devil indifferently. He's been stalking me for more than a month. I thought I'd lost him when I came aboard. Then he turned up in my quarters. From the body, he has lifted a clinking bag of souls. Perhaps he was sent to bribe me rather than to kill me. He tilts his head to consider the soul collection. Apparently thinks I'm a cheap hire, if so. Hi. You brought this boy to say hi?
I brought you a boy to smooch.
Hi.
He a good boy.
He's a very good boy. He's a good son.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. We have a very good kitty son.
You did? Oh, good cuddle.
What a good boy. Oh no. The devil's gaze reverts to you. I regret to say this is probably not the last time this happens. I may be destined to attract negative attention. Wow! I got 1,000 experience from that. Which reminds me, I haven't leveled up. Or spent my level up. What's up?
This puppy is wonderful.
She a good dog.
She okay. I got a text with my proposed new schedule if everyone agrees to it.
Uh-huh.
And if I
Let me put my stuff on pause for a second here. Okay, I am back. Um, I don't know what I'm doing in this game right now anyway. I guess I should go back to... I should go back to Magdalene's.
Scarlet.
Um, that would probably be my best bet.
Okay.
Oh yeah. I was kind of...
I got you that toy you don't care about.
Yeah, okay, so I need some stuff in order to do more with this guy. Okay. What is this? Is that? No, it's slightly different from the one I crashed into. Ah, homestead. Settlers who live so far beyond the edge of civilization relish the hardships of solitude. They will fiercely defend their small territories, but occasionally welcome company and trade. Um... Guess let's eat our fill. You enjoy a meal of sticky porridge and viney vegetables. Afterwards, you and your hosts exchange non-committal observations on the war between stovepipes and tackities. Your crew are content for a time. One of them even speculates idly about settling down. Alright. Oh, shit. Oh, I remember what I was trying to remember that I needed to do. I have at least one level to spend. So stat-wise, I could really do with bringing up my iron and my hearts a bit. So... Hey, so mentor, maybe. Mentor might be freaking perfect. A mentor. Ah, the Blind Bruiser. I recall him from the other game. I'm not sure if I want to build up my villainy, though. A lost love would give me a moment of inspiration. I don't know if that's something I really need, though. Cryptic Benefactor. Some of these really... Some of these add some interesting things in addition to the stats, which is interesting. A moment of inspiration seems like it might be handy in the future for the writing, the whole writing of this Sky Stories thing. So, I'll do that. Love, the gradual erosion of that which separates you from someone else. The fitting together of two lives as intricately and intimately as the threads in a tapestry or the cells in your skin. And when one of those lives ends, what remains of the other? You loved, you lost. How badly does it hurt now? Like a fresh wound, as red now as it was then. Sometimes the grief is raw, ravaging, a wolf howl in a midwinter's night. At other times it sullenly slinks, waiting for a reason, any reason, to lift its head and howl again. Okay. And that 1,000 points we got from him. Was not enough. to get us yet another level, but we're like halfway there. So let's just keep puttering along. Don't make me fight you. I don't wanna, but I'll think about it. Do you wanna just piss off, seriously? I seriously don't wanna fight. I do wanna go see what this is, though. And try scavenging it. Yay! Your boarding party follows you and gingerly through the red. Oh, okay, this is pretty standard. Let's hit the captain's quarters again. Another otherworldly artifact. Is it not random? Is it just like standard? Fuck off! Just fucking go away. Let me kill my light. Maybe that'll let me ditch this guy faster. That's how it worked in the previous game anyway. Okay. I don't know if it's still the same kind of system here. Alright. Here we are. Back at Magdalene's. So, first things first. Let's hit the bazaar and sell our seeds off. The amenable host smiles, just what we needed. Although I must admit, I do miss roses and lilies and bluebells. Still, these celestial blooms have their own virtues. Some of them weep, you know. He pays you a generous gratuity. So we got extra money and experience. And we can buy bronzewood here. Bronzewood we need for the clock, so I will buy a bronzewood. Let's go back to the House of Small Comfort. Let's write our port report. Always got to do that. Can we try to talk with the host yet? No. I don't really have... I don't have nightmares yet, and I have very little terror, so... And I guess I can't actually do any of these anyway, because they're not done with... You don't pay with money. And my nightmares are fine too, so... Ah, but a moment of inspiration. You needed 0? What? Anywho, I'm ready to move on from this place. Question is, where to next? I mean, I could just go back to New Winchester again. I'm not sure. I mean, I need to find my way to a port of some kind relatively soon. I don't have a ton. I don't have a ton of stuff, fuel or supplies. Yikes. What kind of nasty fighting going on over there? I don't know if I'll be able to get any of what's up here, but might as well check it out, huh? Ah, some fuel. Cool. I guess might as well see if I can get whatever's over here. Looks like a shipwreck. Might as well try to force open the doors to the hold. Failed. Lost a crew. Damn. But we did get a clasped jewelry box out of the deal. Got us some gossip. And we found Lipkin's Field. How lovely. Alright, I think at this point I'll swing by the memorial to the rat and then just over to Port or New Winchester again. Did I already get my maximum use out of the memorial? I guess so. Ah, we're close to the Mother of Mountains, apparently. We got some fuel. Unfortunately, fuel's not what I need right now. Anywho. I can't afford to send my scout out anymore. I'm gonna have to just head on back. Yeah, like I said, really a lot, much larger and more frequent land masses currently than this game used to have. Which is fine, I guess. I didn't hate the way the game was before, to be honest. I was pretty okay with being able to kind of cruise from place to place and not have to like chart complicated paths to get where you needed to go. But I'm okay with this way too. It makes it feel more like Sunless Sea in some ways. And Sunless Sea is a game I liked a lot, so I don't mind that. One thing I like a lot is that I've felt more capable of telling what is background art land and what is like land that I would fucking crash into. That was an issue I had um, with some previous versions of the game. Um, I would sometimes be like, oh, I'm pretty sure that's just background, and then it'd fucking crash. And it was always very annoying when that would happen. Alright, let's turn in our port reports. The game is recommending I buy new fucking equipment, but I don't think I don't think that's a thing I actually need or want just yet. Or can actually afford, really. I've got like 400 sovereigns, that's not that much. Not compared to the cost of a lot of the equipment. We'll get there eventually. Do I need any repairs? No. What are my options for hiring on crew? No, I don't really need... I'm not going to bother. Only being one down. Let's escort the incautious driver to their family doctor, though. A silver plaque on the door bearing only a name indicates this is the address of New Winchester's most exclusive practice. While the doctor conducts her examination, the driver asks you to update their old records with their current employment. You take a moment's pleasure in the driver's ridiculous middle name and pass over the field on gender, straightforwardly crossed out. Their address was last an eye-raisingly prestigious New Winchester townhouse. You amend it to the name of your locomotive. Ah, the doctor says, peering into the driver's ear. A case of verdancy, a fungal colonization of the brain, not uncommon in the Reach. You've noticed uncharacteristic impulses? Changes in behavior? She eyes the driver's sky suit and scars. The driver nods. Yes, the spores root deeply in the brain. Attempts to extract them have had less than satisfactory results. I'm afraid the best prescription is to entertain them. Take them where they want to go, see the things they want to see. Typically, a little travel does the job. They'll soon lose interest. Okay, so a fungus is living in my driver's brain that wants to travel. Cool. Let's talk to them. They've only been more restless since their appointment. A communion with verdancy. The incautious driver paces back and forth, clicking their tongue. It must have been the crash in the nature reserve. My father sent me there to take up a nice quiet job. I always did love botany. But when they pulled me from the wreckage, I had new dreams to follow. I thought they were mine. Now, how can I be sure? A new resolve washes over their face when they turn back, eyes sharp and sparkling with a flicker of emerald. Either way, I know where I have to go. Old Tom's Well. Give me the wheel, Captain. I have an appointment to keep. The well lies to the east of New Winchester. Okay. Well, that's something new to check out. Alright, let's hit the shops. There's a new prospect we can get. Magdalene's wants chorister's nectar. We need more supplies. Actually gonna buy 5, I think. And now I especially don't have money for equipment. I think I will bank the bronzewood for now. What? What do I... Okay. I need stained glass chorister's nectar, and I need chorister's nectar for the clock as well. So... Okay. But at the moment, finding new places is going to be helpful for experience, and just because it will be. The more places I know where they are, the more prospects I'll be able to follow up on. So... Okay, also... One thing I'm not sure about in this game, it used to be... in Sunless Sea, it used to be that, different... More crew meant you would go through supplies faster. I know that wasn't previously the case in this game, but it might be now? I don't know. Oh, God. Jesus. Did I get it? I didn't... That was so startling. I don't even know if I got anything out of that. Fuck! Jesus. That thing was fucking just hell-bent for running me down. Okay, another port. Off this way. Are these guys gonna fight me? Hopefully not. I have not been... I have not been an enemy to the Tacides, so... The princess glances at Polmirs. I considered running away with them, but some refused to bathe. Ah! Polmir and Plenties. Good place, good people. And another level up for me. A traveling circus has settled here, too afraid to go further and too afraid to turn back. Its clanking, gaudy locomotive scavenges such audiences as it can from nearby homesteads and delivers them for an evening of shabby, desperate, big-top magic. The inconceivable circus, the greatest show. The greatest show, that's what the adverts promise. The reality is not impressive. Aside from the big top that dominates the circus, the place is shabby, poorly maintained, and even more poorly attended. Bored-looking circus folk man rotting booths, and the clowns' painted-on smiles are no match for the deep-set misery behind the grease paint. Even the calliope music, playing on a rundown piano, is more grimly resolute than cheery. Well, first things first, let's get our port report. The big top looms dramatically in the fog of the Reach, but it's not nearly as imposing as the massive obelisk floating nearby. Some enterprising soul has hung bunting between it and the big top. As for the circus itself, outside of the performers, it is practically deserted. You may be the first new face in the audience for a while. Hmm. Okay, so there's a lot of things here, I guess. Let's purchase tickets, I guess. Let's actually see the shop first. Oh, no? Oh, shops. Good price for verdant seeds. And then they sell bronzewood normally, but I have the bronzewood I need for the clock, and I don't currently need other bronzewood. Alright. Let's try to sneak behind the tents. A pair of clowns whose painted-on smiles do not match their actual scowls spot you almost immediately. There's nothing funny about the heavy sticks they carry. You are less than politely escorted back to the big top. Perhaps if you were better known around here, they would be less concerned. Oh. Guess let's buy tickets then. And then let's enter the big top. The greatest show. No one in the meager audience displays any enthusiasm, not even when the ringmaster thunders in on a horse-drawn calliope. Then come the acts themselves. Oh dear. The humiliated magician's trapdoors fail to open, leaving his glamorous assistant notably unvanished. The bereaved acrobat swings from a single trapeze. The other hangs lonely and unused. The pensive clown's fire-juggling act ends in disaster, and not the humorous kind. The less said about the lion tamer, the better. He should recover. But I got a Sky Story. Cool. And I have spent time at the circus. I guess let's visit the amusements. Most of the stalls here are empty, their owners either asleep or long since gone. You gamely make the most of them. From the Hall of Mirror, there is only one, to the Whack-A-Rat game currently closed due to the rats having unionized. At least the day proves quiet, with nothing actively trying to kill you. In the high wilderness, that alone counts as a vacation. Now let me try to sneak behind the tents. No. I guess I'll find. Oh no, the grubby urchin is not in, so I can't buy tickets. Maybe I'll attempt to recruit crew. Failure. Show must go on. The prospective crew member looks tempted, but their eyes keep dragging back to the big top. I have to be here, they apologize. I think this is where I'm supposed to be. Okay, so I guess I can't do anything else here at the moment. Again, previously in the game, there were some quests you could get quite easily, but now it appears to be somewhat gated. So, which is fine. Let's see. Oh gosh, there's a lot of stuff out there. Van Zessen. Oh wait, I have a level to spend, don't I? I forgot. So stat-wise, my iron and hearts are still the lowest. Why can I not click on this one? This appears to be like kind of out of, like, weirdly. Let me try tweaking some of my settings. As it appears weirdly, like this seems like it's off the edge. You know what I mean? Is this resolution a bit problematic for it? Okay, yeah, that's better. Weird. Weird. The game apparently has some issues at higher resolutions. I'm gonna try this one more time though. No, yeah, it's effed up. Okay. Well, I mean, there's always a few problems when a game first launches these days, it seems like. Okay, a promise of days. Her Majesty offered the earliest pioneers to enter the heavens a grant of 30 years if they would build houses and necessities for those who would follow. You were one of the first through the doors to the sky and accepted the offer. How did you spend the Queen's hours? Oh, this will give me sky stories. So that's tempting for that. Haunted. Yeah, there's a lot of interesting options. I think I'll do that one. Because mirrors is good. I like mirrors. Yeah, I think I'll do this first one. In toil, you helped lay the foundations of London. You dug its sewers, laid its streets. 30 short years to forge an empire from nothing. Okay. Oh my god, a lot of potentially lootable stuff, but so far, no. Oh god, are you all aggressive? Apparently. Not ideal. Oh, what did I just find there? Crate of nostalgic crockery. Ah, fuck off! So many assholes around here. It's a real problem. I can't. I can't. I need mining to get that open. I know that. Gosh, it sure would be nice to find a frickin' port. Am I really just gonna have to swing back around to Port Avon? I was hoping to find something more interesting, or another major port out here, which there probably is, but I'm getting kind of low on supplies, so I do not feel terribly confident in the idea of like trying to just push for an unknown port. Alright, Captain Carey placated. The Canton Carey are lumbering, half-fossilized isopods that will attack anything they disapprove of. Given that they are very ancient and murderously grumpy, that means almost everything. The corpse of the Canton Carey has been neatly sheared, creating a clear cross-section of its internal arrangements. So obviously we're going to collect a trophy. The crew set about the creature with hacksaws while the quartermaster prepares a board. The hunting club will no doubt wish to replace it with something finer in mahogany or bronzewood, but this will do for the moment. And Trader's Wood, I'm pretty sure, is like a frickin' or there should be a frickin' port around here, I think. I thought. But hell, I don't know, and I'm very low on supplies, so I'm gonna head for Port Avon. At least need to go there and get supplies. But yeah, I thought Trader's Wood was a place that had like an actual port, but maybe I'm just thinking of Port Avon. But I didn't think so. But like I said, it has been months since I played this game. Oh, fuck. Alright. Remember when I... Jesus. Remember when I said I thought they had made it easier to tell what you could fly into or over? Maybe I spoke too soon. Quiet day in Port Avon. A pleasant breeze wafts through the village, making even its pricklier residents relax their guard and welcome guests. Only a little, but enough that even a visiting stranger can enjoy their bonhomie. By cheap repairs? 25. I'll play a round of cricket. Reduce my terror. Nobody seems to remember how long this game has been going on, just that the score is now almost a formality. You play your part and points are scored, yet by the time you leave it is no closer to an end. Nobody seems to mind. It is, after all, cricket. Let's get our port report. Let's go to the shop because we super need to. We're very low on fuel, or on supplies rather. And then why don't we... Oh, actually, before I forget, let's go to the Nowhere Inn and turn in that trophy. The stout veteran pokes at it. What a horrible creature. He twiddles his bushy mustache. A perfect centerpiece. Jenkins, fetch the hoist. Hey, you got a little bit of money. And some experience. Now let's check out the Cyclopean ruins. First I gotta pet my dog. Oh, what a good dog you are. What a good dog. What a sweet girl. What a sweet girl. Yeah. You're such a good dog. Such a good dog. Hi! Hi! My dog was not... Scarlet was not, did not believe I had given her enough pets. She said those pets were insufficient. Insufficient pets. Insufficient petting. Okay, I'm gonna conduct a nocturnal excavation. Oh no, I failed. Oh no. Oh no. All night you dig, prying up vast stones and peering into the dusty cracks. For any signs of souls, there's nothing. Perhaps they were crushed, perhaps other miners got here first. That's very unfortunate. Well, I'm gonna not completely run out my welcome, and I'm gonna get out of here while I have a little bit of welcome left. And I'm gonna just go back to New Winchester. No, I feel like there's more. I feel like I can get more use out of... There's got to be more to be found. Let's go back into the Trader's Wood. head farther west. There's more to be found down here, I'm sure about it. What was that icon over here? Oh, unraveling time. Which I don't have. I need like butchery or whatever. Yeah. I can't scoop it up. Nothing new to report. Ah! Leave me alone! Why are there so many jerks around here? Also, why can't my dang bat find anything? Ah, found something. Oh, hey! And one of those things being a frickin' port. Excellent. Excellent. But first, let's find out what this little, lip icon is, if that's anything I can pick up. Nope. Don't have what I need to get that, unfortunately. Also, this is essentially a dead end. Oh my god. What the fuck? Is this just freaking huge wall? Jeez. Jeebus. Jeebus Creebus. I was gonna go around this shit and down to that port, but I don't know, maybe the whole frickin' reach is inside a frickin' wall. I don't know how the game works now. Merald wood. Wonder why the experience point numbers are so weird. 57 experience points. And then like finding a major thing is like 512. It is something. But we found place, whatever this place is, I forget, nature reserve? Somerset Camp. Alright. I think once I'm done here, I'm gonna quit for the night. My dog's acting a little antsy. so she might need to go outside or something. And it's getting close to my bedtime anyway. So the forest's edge, Trader's Wood, is a sprawling, secluded forest on the edge of the reach. Few venture beneath its gloomy boughs, and legend speaks of a king who sleeps under the barrow at the wood's heart. The wood's edge. The wood is vast as a felled giant and fathomless as a great ocean. Like the ocean, much of it is hidden from view. Careful expeditions are required to go deeper into the wood. The forest is rich and wild in the verdant species of the reach. Exploring the starlight-dappled edges of the wood could be profitable. You may only perform one of these actions a fortnight. The wood guards its secrets. Okay, so we could gather flowers, which could give us verdant seeds. We could hunt, which we have pretty shitty odds of, but we could get a caged catch. Or we could slumber in the wood to possibly gain vision of the heavens. I mean, my odds of all of these are kind of crappy. Let's try hunting. Success! Noble ends. A keen-eyed stoker spies tracks leading into the woods. You follow them. Birds cry out in the canopy ahead of you, startled by something moving. You quicken your pace. Your quarry slows, allowing you to catch up. It stands in a copse of silverwood, a proud stag, with its many-tined triple crown. Its majesty does not spare at your bullets. It takes 5 people to carry it back to your engine. Does that use... It does. That does use a slot. Okay. So we can't do that anymore. Campfire. 3 figures draped in scholars' robes huddle around a campfire. They are arguing about kings, a banner in the colors of Somerset. London University's most respectable college gleams in the firelight. As you approach, the discussion dies. One of the scholars, a woman with a fierce expression, stands up. Only scholars should be here. Are you one? No, you are not. Perhaps a gift would persuade them to let you enter the camp. They look wretched camped out here. Yeah, let's try that. The vituperative classicist studies your offering with the burnt toast and wan tea they have been suffering on. Well, all right, I suppose. The woman is a vituperative classicist. Her companion's a dismal paleographer, a forlorn young man, and a feckless theologian, a handsome youth with an easy smile. They explain that they are here to enter the regent's grave, where they believe a sleeping king lies buried. If it's a king, why would it be the regent's grave? They do not agree as to the king's identity. Unfortunately, the college has cut our funding, the classicist explains. Speak to us if you'd be interested in helping. The shadow of the barrow falls over the camp. A mournful wail carries on the wind. A cluster of scholars have set up camp on the border of the wood. Their funding gone, they struggle to continue their research into whoever is entombed in the regent's grave. The wind howls in the trees and the skies threaten rain. The scholars huddle in their tents, brooding over papers and conspiring against colleagues. Let's, I guess, ask how we can help. Your inquiry induces a rare spirit of cooperation in the scholars. The last expedition into the woods found a document written in the correspondence. It contained directions to a place called the Steward's Font, the theologian explained. Alas, that is all it needs to break their alliance. The paleographer begins to argue that the steward was a chief position in Charlemagne's household. The classicist makes a pointed reference to Inanna's husband. The theologian's smile is forced. If you could find the font, It would be an immense boon to my work. There sputters of protestation. Our work. Okay, so we can go on expeditions, I guess, to try to help them find things. Um, huh, okay. So, they all have a theory about who's buried here. Um, hmm. I mean, the high wilderness is the literal, like, is a physical end of the world. But it's not like, I don't know. So yeah, so I guess we can talk to each of them about their theories, but I don't know why. I don't feel like I need to at the moment. What do we need to do in expedition? Supplies and fuel and crew. But I need at least 10 crew. I don't currently have 10 crew. Or we could do a small expedition with only 5 crew. Still need 2 supplies and 3 fuel. No, 2 supplies and 2 fuel. 2 of each. Don't think... I don't think I need to do... I don't think I want to do either of those. I don't have... I just don't have enough people. It'd be very difficult to do. The Parting Glade. The forest rises behind the station, where a few tents have been set up. What might be an owl calls from somewhere in the wood. In the far distance, a great stone barrow rises over the trees. The glade, an oasis of wildflowers and sweet meadow field. In the midst of the brooding trees is where captains meet to do business and bring their ventures to the wood. Bring their ventures to the wood to conclusion. Oh, okay, this is where I can get a port report. That's good. Okay, and hopefully there is a basic shop here. Oh, fuck balls. They don't sell fuel. Oh, good. I do have 3 things of fuel, though. Oh, I was gonna say that would be so bad. So very bad. Yeeks. Alright, now I think I'll try to make it back to New Winchester and quit from there. That should be pretty doable. Hopefully. Is this something I can scavenge? Let's strip her for repairs. Cool. And more wefts of time. I really need to pick up, there's been so many of those. I really need to get the things that give give a rating in butchery and mining. But especially butchery, it seems like it would apparently be super fucking useful. Well, I am pretty pleased with this game, I would say. Um, Everything that I've seen so far today has been familiar, based on the early access stuff I played. Um, but better, right? Like they've clearly done a lot of polish to the game, um, since I last uh, since I last checked in with it, and I'm pretty stoked to get to see some of the other regions. In my play of the game previously, I spent some time in Albion, which is like the second region in the game. At least I think the last time I played, I think the third region hadn't even been added to the game yet. So I think all there was at the last time I played was Albion and the Reach. So I don't know at this point. I think they said that one of them is like the center, and I think that one is the Reach. So I think technically the Reach connects to all three of the other regions. I mean, you start at the one to the Blue Kingdom, which is like which was the last region they added to the game. But that relay's broken, right? I don't know if there's a way of getting through there early, or if there's a way to get through to the other one, which I think is called like Eleutheria or something. Um, um, Anywho, yeah. So there's a lot more new officers. I think the only one of these officers I remember from playing before was, I think, the incautious driver, and none of them had any stories before. I don't think. So like, it's good they've got all that stuff going on now. Pretty into it. Pretty into the way there's a lot more land masses now is gonna take some getting used to, but I think it's cool. Like I can kind of see why they had the game like the way it was before, with it being more open. Um, they probably wanted it to be more like being in space. But I think it's more interesting, the way it is now. Ooh, Mr. Menagerie. Okay, this is a thing I remember from before. A tattered poster by the station advertises the services of a Mr. Menagerie, purveyor of fine scouts. The cloaked figure looks up as you approach. Its garnet-hued eyes gleam from the darkness of its hood. Scouts? It rasps hopefully, its voice like a cleaver on a whetstone. We trade scouts for things and stories. It leans closer to you. We're leaving soon. Wow, I started with a diffident bat. I don't know why. I don't know why I would. Um, oh, interesting. Okay, so they kind of explain what they do here. Um, Good range can find up to 3 discoveries before returning, but conveys little information about what it finds. So I don't know what the stats on my Kickstarter one is, but mine seems to be pretty good, which is nice. Um, uh, like it gives me some info on what it is, and I definitely seems to be able to find multiple things at once, which is cool. So, but anyway, if we want to find him again, he's gone to the Regent's Obelisk, which you have made into a gaudy amusement, which is the circus. Let's see. I can't do anything with this yet because we need 7 of each of those. We don't need any repairs. We don't. I don't feel like wasting money trying to recruit crew when I'm only 1 down. Flowers for Titania. Titania needs verdant seeds. Yeah, might as well claim that. Why not? And see, here's a good example. I've picked these things up, and I don't know what I might need them for. So I'm gonna stick them in the bank, and just buy some stuff. And yeah, still don't have enough money to really buy what I'd like, which would be one of these 2 thingamajiggers. Those also both go in the same slot, which isn't ideal. But yeah, I would love to get the canning station. But might have to wait for now. Or I guess I could sell... What does it sell for? I could sell off my crockery from the bank. Because that would get me 100. Munitions would get me 60. But for now, I feel like I'd like to save those in case a bazaar, a prospect comes up for them. Anywho, it's getting late, so I'm gonna quit for now. I'm gonna repost the link to the charity fundraising site again. And I'm gonna call it quits. I do plan on playing this game some more. Time will tell whether I want to play this over, say, Hollow Knight at this point. I might be done with Hollow Knight. Haven't really decided yet. I'm certainly close to being done with it for me, because I think a lot of the DLC stuff is probably going to be harder than I want to fuck with. But I would like to try to see more of the stuff and get to more endings there. So I'm not done with that game, but I'm probably kind of ready to transfer to kind of transition onto some other games, different games, and this might be one of them. I've been planning on playing Pathologic, and that is still one I definitely want to check out. But I don't know, there's so much stuff I want to check out. This is one I've been wanting to try out. Endless Legend and Endless Space 2 more, especially with the new DLC that just came out. There's just so many games to play. But anyway, I've been excited to delve into this more. The real question with this game is how much am I going to want to stream it versus just play it on my own? Because so much of the game is text, and like, do I want to read this much text out loud? I don't know. Anywho, I'm off for now. Good night.